This woman has a habit of wearing headphones on the subway. When the music starts playing, she tries to focus and zone out. Soon she forgets everything around her. This is her way of escaping stress. A child suddenly runs out and disturbs her. Even worse, the kid smears chocolate on her clothes. She feels like her good mood for the day has been ruined. Back at the office, she wipes at the stain on her clothes. She quietly complains about her bad luck. Looking up, she sees the last person she wants to run into, Park Kyung-nam, a colleague from her department.
그걸로 안 지워져요.
네. 뭐야?
What makes her even more unhappy is that when she returns to the office, all her co-workers are gathered around Park Kyung-nam congratulating him. Turns out he achieved some impressive results at work. She stands to the side with a smile on her face, but inside, she's actually quite envious. The company invites her to social gatherings. She always says she already has plans, but in reality, she just doesn't want to go. She prefers staying home alone. In the afternoon, a friend invites her to a classmate's wedding. The friend is worried about one thing. At the wedding, they'll most likely run into her ex-boyfriend, along with his new girlfriend who loves to show off. To make sure the other woman doesn't look like she's doing better than her, the friend specially picks out a gorgeous outfit for her, hoping she'll look more successful at the wedding, but she thinks it's a bit over the top. She hasn't even thought that much about it. The next day, something even worse happens. She returns to the office. The director suddenly makes an announcement. The company needs to assign someone to handle cartoonist Yoon Song's project. Instantly, she freezes up completely, because she used to be in charge of Yoon Song. Those days were a nightmare in her career. Not only did she constantly have to show up at her door to chase deadlines, but at 3 in the morning, Yoon Song would call her non-stop. She was tortured to the point of nearly having a mental breakdown. One time, it was finally her boyfriend's birthday. She had originally planned to go out and celebrate together that evening, but during that period, she was so exhausted from dealing with Yoon Song. Her boyfriend waited for her at the restaurant for several hours. He called her many times, but she was so tired she fell asleep. By the time she woke up, it was too late for everything. The two of them eventually broke up. This time, she absolutely cannot let this troublesome assignment fall on her, so she immediately buys the director's favorite macarons. But unexpectedly, Park Kyung-nam beats her to it. He directly buys a huge box and gives it to the director. Compared to hers looks really cheap. The result is no surprise. This troublesome assignment still ends up in her hands. At that moment, she's on the verge of a complete breakdown. After work, while squeezing onto the subway, she even gets a chunk of hair ripped out by someone. She can't help but complain internally. Today is absolutely the unluckiest day of her entire life. The woman is a comic book editor. She's already 29 years old but still single. Every day after work when she gets home, she collapses onto the couch, letting her exhausted body rest for a moment. After a brief relaxation, she opens the fridge and starts looking for food. She makes whatever she feels like eating. Nobody's there to stop her. After cooking, she always picks out a movie in advance, because for her eating must be paired with a movie. The most relaxing moment of the night is taking a hot bath. Steam rises from the bathtub. She sips red wine while binge-watching shows. When it's all over, she feels completely recharged. After finishing her show, she goes straight to bed. Simple days like this are heaven to her. Unfortunately, this happiness always comes to an end. The director assigns her to handle the difficult comic artist Yoon Song. Hearing that name, her whole body freezes, because she'd been in charge of Yoon Song before. It was the nightmare of her career. She even broke up with her boyfriend because of it. She's on the verge of a breakdown. She can't help complaining internally. Today is the unluckiest day of her life. The next day, she runs into Yoon Song himself at the elevator. In that moment, she completely breaks down. Yoon Song pulls her away to discuss the storyline. She offers some suggestions about the comic, but Yoon Song completely ignores them, because in Yoon Song's view, readers simply don't know how to appreciate it.
아니 선배님 똑똑한 거 다 아는데 그냥 알잖아. 내 까라는 좀 아닌 거. 그럼 이사님한테 저랑 하기 싫다고 하시지.
아니 뭐 이제부터 그냥 차차 맞춰가면 되는 거니까. 옛날처럼.
That day, the head of a romance simulation company approaches her. Because the male lead in Yoon Song's comic is extremely popular, they've already signed a long-term collaboration contract. The company invites her to become a product tester. She needs to personally experience their product for 1 month and provide honest feedback. Plus, there's extra compensation. Hearing there's money involved, she barely hesitates. She immediately agrees. A device that lets you enter a virtual reality world. She follows the instructions and finishes the setup. The moment the device powers on, she feels her consciousness violently ripped away. Her mind goes completely blank, and then she passes out. When she comes to, she finds herself standing in a virtual space. A butler appears before her. He tells her this is a device called Subscription Boyfriend. The database has 900 virtual boyfriends to choose from, each one with a different look and personality. All she has to do is put on a ring, and she'll enter the corresponding love story. If she wants to return to reality, she just takes the ring off. The moment the butler finishes speaking, a love story appears right before her eyes. She steps inside, and the next second, she's standing on a beach. Not far away, a man rides a surfboard, cutting through the waves toward her. Before she can even react, a massive wave swallows her whole. But she doesn't drown. She's shocked to discover she can actually breathe underwater. What surprises her even more, the surfer drifts toward her. Unconscious, she quickly drags him to shore, and when she gets a clear look at his face, she freezes. This guy is the male lead from the mega hit comic she's in charge of.
잠깐만. 이거 최지우잖아.
His face and body are way too perfect. She can't help but stare. Just then, the man suddenly opens his eyes and grabs her by the wrist. She freaks out and immediately pulls off the ring, exiting the virtual world. This woman's name is Seo Mirai. She's an editor at a comic publishing company. After getting dumped by her ex 3 years ago, she's been single ever since, living the same 9-to-5 routine every day. The repetitive grind is boring her to death. Her friends keep telling her to get back out there, but she always dodges the subject. There's another editor at the company named Park Kyung-nam. He handles a different comic series. The two of them constantly butt heads at work. Earlier, the company assigned them a comic called Ideal Man. They kept pushing it back and forth. Neither one wanted to take it on, because even though the comic is super popular, its reputation is terrible. The reason is simple. The storyline is way too cliché, and the male lead's dialogue is absolutely unbearable. The male lead's name is Choi Siwoo, a ridiculously wealthy third-generation chaebol. His character is designed to be the perfect boyfriend who only acts cute and clingy around the female lead. The story goes that he has a surfing accident at the beach, and gets rescued by the female lead, Eun Na-ra, who's there on vacation. That's how their sickeningly sweet romance begins. Before entering the virtual world, Seo Mirai couldn't stand this male lead. No matter how handsome Choi Siwoo is, she thought the character was just too predictable. But after experiencing it firsthand, she realizes she's actually deeply drawn to Choi Siwoo. What's even crazier, in real life, Choi Siwoo's ads are literally everywhere, and every time she sees one, she can't resist the urge to dive back into the virtual world. The second time she enters the virtual world, she finds herself standing in a hotel lobby. Then it hits her. The female lead in the comic works at a luxury hotel. Right now, the storyline has the female lead heading to the director's office, and that director is Choi Siwoo.
내 책상에 감이 엉덩이 된 것 같은데. 나 잘못 봤나?
아니 그게
나가, 당장.
She's about to leave, but Choi Siwoo furrows his brow, as if something just came to mind.
우리가 어디서 봤던 거야?
그렇지. 어떡해. 미쳤나봐.
당신 분명 그때
맞아요.
근데 어떻게 여기 있어?
여기서 일하니까요?
찾았다, 드디어.
And then delivers a string of lines so cheesy they give you goosebumps. This is exactly why readers have been trashing the comic. On the girl's first day at work, the office is filled with roses. When lunchtime arrives, her boss takes her to a lavish feast. The table is covered with expensive dishes. She can choose whatever she wants. The man presents the finest things in the world to the girl. Not only that, he also takes the girl shopping at a department store. The girl lightly taps a button, and the clothes automatically appear on her body. She can change outfits instantly with just a turn. Her hairstyle can be switched at will too. The jewelry is even more incredible. She just points her finger, and it automatically appears on her hand. The entire world seems to be helping her look beautiful. The man even rents out an entire swimming pool, just to have private time alone with the girl. There's also a private jet and a private yacht. In his world, the girl is his most important princess. She is the person he treasures most, but even the sweetest dreams must end.